この番組はご覧のスポンサーの提供でお送りします。
Alrighty, good morning and welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo and I'm here for Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam, starting with episode 4. There's a pretty solid chance that we'll watch 4 and 5 today. I've been informed that that might be a good idea and I've got the time to do it, so we might do it. But of course, as usual, we'll play it by ear. Welcome everyone. Some shit just went down. Namely, your boy Kamiyu's mom just exploded right in front of him, and we'll talk about it, but I think there's a pretty... It might not be true, but I think there's a pretty reasonable, justification for him to think that this is his fault. He approached the capsule, and the capsule exploded. Obviously, he can blame Iceman for shooting the capsule in the first place, and he will, and he's gonna murder that guy. Iceman is fucked, I hope. Because I don't like that person. But maybe we'll draw him out to be more of a longer-term villain than this, but we'll see. I think Kamiyu's going to blame himself to some extent. Either way, this is going to be an emotional whomp to the system that might cause his new type awakening. I don't know how that works, honestly. It hasn't really been explored. Amuro is really the only serious new type that we've seen awaken super clearly, and that happened over a long period of time in a confusing way where I wasn't even sure that they meant to do it at first, and got kind of compressed by the nature of the end of Gundam, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. But... we're in an interesting spot. The other person who I'm interested in, and I have a spoily reason for being so, and that spoily reason is the name of this next episode that we're going to watch, but the other person I'm interested in is Emma, because Emma, on board the egg ship, just watched her people, watch the Titans, use her, not tell her what they were doing for the operation, use her as part of a bargaining chip, and then use a hostage and kill them. Kill them. Hard murder. And she doesn't seem super happy about that, and I'm excited to see what she does with that discontent, whether she can leverage it into some kind of a conversion or a change in her mindset toward the Titans, and potentially join our group and become our waifu and a part of our harem forever. You know, like you do. Not like you do in Gundam, though. Very different type of show. But before we get into the next episode, I do want to talk about some of the comments that came in, because there are a couple of juicy ones. So let's do that for a second, and then we will move on to the actual episode 4 of Zeta Gundam. So first off, Pixel Saber writes, hearing my username unexpectedly mentioned in anything pre-recorded never fails to startle me, haha. Yeah, sorry. Pixel Saber. Boo! Also, Dogram is generally pronounced Daguram in the show itself. That makes sense from the way you would have to syllableize that. That makes sense. You're right in your assumption that the Galbaldi is the name of the mobile suit. Thank God. That explains so much. The Bosnia battleship which deploys them in this episode is of the Earth Federation's main forces, but is being sent to reinforce the Titans. Got it. Also helps me clear up, the nature of the Titans versus the Earth and, how that actually works and all that stuff, which we'll get into in the next comment in a second, but anyway. On to your final point, I also have the tendency to feel glee and excitement over upsetting events in media because I'm thinking first and foremost about the narrative ramifications, but I'm also a total softie, so the horror/dismay/tears eventually catch up to me after some minutes. That makes perfect sense, and I think that's a very reasonable thing to be as, both an active viewer of media who's interested in the way that the media plays out, and also a real human being who has feelings and emotions and can still be played with when a director or a piece of media does good things that mess with your emotions. That seems like a very reasonable place to be at, Pixel Saber, and I applaud you for it. Cool. I'm going to move on past that comment to something special. We don't always get these, but we get a comment in the comments section from the glorious Jikalaitza. If I overpraise Jikalaitza, I'm not being facetious. I love you, my dude. GK usually writes their comments and stuff in the Discord, which, by the way, you can get access to for just $1 on the Patreon. So check that out. It's in the Describble-de-doo. Also, you could pay me that $1 once and then get into the Discord, and then probably I'll never kick you out unless you do something ban-worthy. I've got a lot of people in there who have been in there since I started the channel and are no longer subscribed members, but they're active members in the Discord, and I keep them around because why not? I'm not going to kick people because of that. It doesn't make sense to me. More people to discuss more things seems good to me. Unless you're an asshole, stay out, assholes. Don't be a jerk. But anyway, GK writes a juicy comment in our comment section, so I get to read it out and talk about it, which is wonderful. These Titans, in quotes, the Titans are personal soldiers of people whose spirits have been pulled by Earth's gravity, is always an interesting and juicy line beyond being kind of poetic, as you noticed. It sure is. And it is a really poetic and interesting line. The idea of spirits being pulled by gravity immediately evokes an image of like people in normal suits floating in orbit with their like their souls getting sucked out of them and toward Earth, like Earth collecting spirits around itself by like a gravitational pull. It's like such a cool image. It's very evocative. Anyway, GK writes, one read is that, as per the original new type vision of Char's dad, that the AUG probably adopts. That's a complicated sentence, so I'm going to rephrase it. As per the vision of the future that the AUG has probably adopted from Char's father. I think that makes more sense. Humanity was to go into space creating a new era by evolving into a new man, in the broad sense man, one capable of true empathy and understanding. In that sense, the Earth elites and the Federation represent a kind of conservatism and sticking to the old Earth ways, unable to free their souls from Earth's gravity and evolve. I love this, and I love the idea that it is conservatism. I don't think you actually need to put that in quotes. I know that you're doing it because you're trying to distinguish this from like the way that we think of political conservatism in the modern day and age, because the twain are not the same at all. Not even slightly. Like politically conservative people in the modern era are not politically conservative. They're pro less government. There is a list of things that varies and is a wide spectrum that people consider to be conservative thought. But in a real like political social context like we're looking at here, conservatism just means a resistance toward change. It's the old guard to some extent and the people that they indoctrinate. And sticking to the old Earth ways, unable to free their souls of Earth's gravity. Absolutely. So then the idea there, like corollary to this, would be that by going into space, the space noids are freed by the fact that they're no longer stuck on Earth's gravity. And that's a really interesting way of thinking about things. Okay, with maybe the Earth itself being seen as a symbol and cause of that, and humans literally unable to move past their mistakes in old ways unless they go off into space. Right, you stay on Earth, you stay stuck in the space ways. I've actually got a book recommendation that I'm going to write down really quick so that I don't forget it by the end of your comment that has to do with that particular idea, and I think you might find it really interesting. You particularly, GK, but also anybody else watching this, and I'll always take the chance to recommend good sci-fi books to people. It's one of the things that I love doing in the world, and when I get the opportunity, I'm going to do it. Anyway, I will continue. With all the circles of corruption, constant fighting and war, famine, pollution, etc. that plague Earth repeating and heightening the cause of that. And the supremacist attitude against space noids also being representative of their souls being pulled by Earth's gravity. And the growth of fascist groups within the military like Titans is both a symptom of all of that and a tool to keep humanity locked in its own ways, in its old ways, standing in contrast thematically to the potential evolution of humans toward more empathetic nature with their move to space, making what the Titans represent and try to enact obsolete. I think this is a really cool comment. I think that you hit on a whole bunch of interesting ideas and interesting issues, but the one that really sticks to me is just the simple idea that our central tension at its core is conservatism versus freedom, or exploration of new possibility. Essentially, closedness versus openness is what you would think of it as, in terms of how the people in these groups approach new ideas and new concepts and new possibilities. The AUG approaches new types, literally new types of humans, a new possibility, a new future, in one way, and the people on Earth seem to view them in a different way. And that makes perfect sense and is a great reason for continued conflict, especially in the wake of all of the other things that lead to this conflict actually happening. As I learn more about it and as I think more about it, things start to come a little bit more into clarity as to where our politics are in the world right now and how it works. And this isn't a difficult thing or a hurdle that we've had to climb over in Gundam so far, because Mobile Suit Gundam 1 is like hyper simple. It's like space fascists, good people fight. But it's not even like good people. It's like space fascists. They're going to kill you no matter what you do. You have to run away from them. You're directly in conflict with them. you got no choice. There's no room for thinking through the ramifications of what you're doing. You just have to fight to survive, which makes things way simpler throughout Mobile Suit Gundam. But now we've got a much more complicated, much broader scope, and I think that's a really good thing for the show because it's just a good thing in general. It makes it feel more real and more interesting. And the reasons that our characters do what they do are informed by more background. And that's wonderful. Just wonderful. Okay, so I mentioned the book that I want to shout out / shill to you guys. It's actually a book series. I think there are 3 total books in the series. But with the specific concept of with maybe the Earth itself being seen as a symbol and cause of that, and humans literally unable to move past their past mistakes in old ways unless they go off into space, with all the circles of corruption, constant fighting, war, famine, pollution, etc. that plague Earth, repeating and heightening the cause of that. That line makes me think of a book series by Kim Stanley Robinson called Red Mars. There are actually 3 books in the series. They are Red Mars, Blue Mars, and Green Mars. All of them are really interesting. They have a pretty deeply scientific, like science fiction, not science fantasy, like hard science fiction, I would say, where everything that happens in the thing is believable to some extent with the science that's provided, to put it that way. The whole set of books deals entirely with the exploration, colonization, and population of Mars. Humanity is capable of building ships to send people to Mars, and at first they send a single craft with a bunch of setup shit, and I think it's 100 top scientists, like absolutely brilliant minds with everything that they need in various fields, people who are botanists and biologists and microbiologists and like landscape comprehenders, geologists, geographers, everybody that you would need to set up the basics of a micro civilization on Mars. And that's exactly what they do. So they arrive there, they start setting up like bubbles and domes so that they have breathable air and they don't have to wear spacesuits all the time. And it takes a long fucking time, and these people find out all sorts of interesting things about Mars and go through all sorts of different struggles just to survive in a landscape that doesn't have any of the things that Earth provides for us to live in. And it's really cool on that front. The characters become more and more built up as you go through, and they become very interesting, and you gain a real relationship with these scientists, and it's wonderful. But as the series moves along and the progress begins, once the little foothold is established on Mars, people begin moving to Mars. And there's no return trip. It takes too long. It's too difficult. But people begin moving, and they start sending colony ships to Mars and building out more infrastructure and eventually building cities and terraforming the planet, which is where the names Blue Mars and Green Mars come from, because those are the stages of their terraforming as they introduce liquid water and melt the ice caps of Mars and create oxygen and atmosphere and nitrogen and all of the things that life needs to survive. And the plant life, the basic algae, the things that produce that terraforming slow roll leading into an unstoppable series of progress and change. But Mars starts booming. They build a space elevator, they build all sorts of things, and Mars starts to become, given that it's a civilization founded by a bunch of brilliant scientists, some of whom are political theorists and thinkers, they found a separate civilization from Earth. And eventually Earth doesn't like that very much because Earth is fucked. Earth is polluted. Earth is falling apart. Climate change is occurring. The political system is wrecked and fucked up. Earth eventually goes to like some kind of crazy one world government sort of thing. All sorts of stuff happens. But the whole idea is that as the series progresses, the battle ceases to be between humanity surviving in the wild, a classic story, right? Surviving against brutality of nature, the difficulty of being on a planet that wants you fucking dead and does not want life upon it. And it transitions to a world where humans have created our own real true paradise, and the fight is to protect it from the greed and control and influence of the power structures that existed previously on Earth. So Do you see now why I bring this up in relation to your comment, GK? Because of the idea that humans on Earth are literally unable to move past their mistakes, and it will require going somewhere else in order to change things. It's an interesting thought experiment, obviously, and it's an interesting piece of science fiction to explore a possible future. But the thing that I find most interesting about it is the kind of despair that's inherent in it, or like the sort of nihilistic despair. The idea that it's just fucked. Like, there's no saving the planet. There's no saving us. That's a scary, scary, scary idea. And so using science fiction to explore where you can go with that, and the idea that even if we were able to stabilize the ecosystem and not nuke each other into oblivion and stop going to war, we would still be fucked because of all of the ideas and the history and the blood, literal blood that has been shed on the soil of our planet. That this place is cursed by our presence in some way. It's dark and despair-inducing and nihilistic, but it's also really interesting to me. So that's why I bring it up, because it's a really interesting contrast, and it reminds me very much of Red Mars. I would highly recommend reading the books. They are pretty dense for, like, sci-fi. I wouldn't call them, like, pulp sci-fi. They're a little harder to read because there's a lot of science stuff going on, but they are very interesting, and I would recommend you read them because they're great. Okay. Woo! We're moving on. Give me a sec. Oh yeah, there is one more comment that I actually do have to talk through. I was going to stop so that we could just move on past it, but there is one more comment that I have to talk through. This is from Jollycoke Respawn. I don't know how to... Jailcock? Jollycoke. I'm going to go with Jollycoke because Jailcock sounds wrong. Quote, "This is always the case. You're always doing this to me," unquote. After the previous episode's interactions with Kamyu and his parents, as well as what happens here, I think it's pretty safe to say that Kamyu resents his mother, because he's had to protect her, most likely from his father, many times from a pretty young age. Kamyu wasn't shocked when he got hit in the previous episodes, and neither was Hilda in this one when she got smacked by Franklin. Yeah, no shock there. That's an abusive dude. There is some assumption here. You do say, I think it's pretty safe to say, so you're sort of covering your own butt, and I agree with that, and I appreciate it, but I don't know that that's necessarily true. I do think it's a fair inference, at least. Yeah, resentment toward the mother, and also some kind of, like, deep disgust or hatred toward the father seems like what we're working with in Kamyu. Also, total lack of a father figure leading to his sort of, the word that's popping into my mind is insubordination, which isn't right, but like going off and doing things on his own, fighting with people, not understanding authority in particular, really chafing against authority. All of those seem like indicators, at least from a writing perspective, not necessarily from a deep psychological perspective or an accuracy perspective, but from a writing perspective, as things that can be tied back to Kamyu's relationship or lack of relationship with his father and his mother. And I think that's really interesting. It's also a cool thing to play into the situation that we're in, which is if Kamyu joins the Aig, then he's a rebel, and he is rebelling against the authoritarian, currently established government of Earth and the fascist titans that are represented by it. He is literally still rebelling against an authoritarian father, and that's a pretty classic trope in media and in the real world. It's not surprising that a lot of people who have authoritarian parents end up becoming rebellious later in life. Some don't, some do, but I think that statistically, if you look at it and you were able to figure it out and chart it on a graph, you'd see a pretty strong correlation. Just throwing it out there as an idea. Okay, continuing on. This is actually the reason I wanted to read this comment, is the next line, which is very important. Also about the signal flares. Remember that Minovsky particles disrupt all communications except for contact link when the mobile suits are in physical contact. So stuff like the flares are ways in which to communicate orders visually. Ooh. Ugh. Same with making a huge mobile suit-sized white flag. This is also why sometimes characters can feel like they're talking past each other during combat, but that's literally because they can't hear each other. Oh, this is such a useful comment. I forgot about Minovsky particles. They just sort of vanished from my brain because we haven't really brought them up in the new series yet. But that makes all of the sense in the world. I was like, why signal flares? Don't you have radio? No, they're Minovsky particles. You don't have radio. Shit. Okay, and One way you could tell who belongs to which faction is to look at their uniforms. In the first scene, the captain is wearing a Federation uniform, and if you didn't remember, that the next cut is to Bright, who is also wearing the same uniform. I will try to pay more attention to that in the future. I don't remember what any of those uniforms actually look like, but I know what all the Titans look like, so we're good. As long as you ain't a Titan, we're okay for now. We'll see how that changes in the future, but there you go. Okay, and those are the comments. That was a long one, but worth it, I think. I think totally worth it. And I love doing. Oh god, I can't stop yawning. I'll take a step back and just be honest with you guys. I had a really hard time waking up this morning. Mostly it's because I just worked really hard in the gym yesterday. So my body is like, no, let me lay in bed and recuperate. And I'm like, no, eat your fucking oatmeal, body, and we're gonna do the thing. My brain still works, but I'm gonna be yawning throughout this video. I'm sorry. I can't help it. And I've got the deep bags now. They're back. Wow. I'm working on it. It'll be fine. Okay. But here we are. Long comment section. I do love doing these comments spotlights. I like them a lot, especially on shows that have stuff to talk about. So I've been doing them about JoJo's, I've been doing them about Gundam, and I've been doing them about Ousama ranking. And I might expand that out to doing them elsewhere, depending on the comment quality that comes in. So keep making good comments, and I'll keep reading them. If you enjoy this stuff, let me know. That would be helpful. Okay. Now we turn our attention to Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. Episode 4. Kamiyu's mom just got exploded. Iceman did it. Kamiyu might blame himself for it, but Iceman did it. Emma saw it. Char saw it. Shit's fucked. How are all these characters going to react to this? I feel like this moment, sending this capsule out there with Kamiyu's mom in it, is hitting the cue ball in a game of pool. It's the initial like we've had inciting incidents before throughout the series, the explosion of the shooting of the side, going in there and like stealing the Gundams, Kamiyu deciding to get in one, like all of those things are reasons why the series will like take off, but the emotional hook just happened, and it feels like that's the initial punch of energy that's going to explode outward and cause a bunch of chain reactions in this show. So I'm really excited for the first few minutes of this episode to see exactly how all of our characters, in turn, hopefully we get to see, react to this situation and how it's playing out. Wonderful. Okay, that's it for our intro. I'm going to take a quick break because I've been talking for 20 minutes. I'm just going to resync everything and make sure that everything's resynced so that everything looks good as we move along. I'll see you in a second. All right, got some more tea in me. Got a mix of an oolong and a pu'er today. It's pretty good. Pretty good. Definitely fixes some of the problems with the pu'er. All right, here we are for Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam Episode 4. I've got it up and ready to go. We're at 0 seconds. There will be 2 versions. We're sticking with the Zeta Rebel versions because people like those. I don't know. I'm down for the other OP, and also just the fact that it looks so much better, but it's okay. Beep beep timer for Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam 4. Let's go. I believe in the sign of Zeta. So fun. Emma's decision. Yeah, since we're going to see that anyway, I don't feel bad about seeing it. Oh, buddy. All right, can we see Iceman get a look like, ooh, I'm in danger? Watching. Everybody saw that. Hi, I'm leaving. She warped halfway through that guy. That's great. Yeah, allowing it, let her go. Fair enough. Bye. Okay, he doesn't blame himself. Hey, space battles. What? How? He is now. Oh my god. Oh, the direct contact. You killed my fucking mom. Jared, that's his name. That's right. He doesn't give a fuck. He beat that kid up earlier. Uh-oh, what's that? Are these the Galbaldi's? They don't. Those are Titans. The Red Comet. The Red Comet. I think, right? It's hard to tell now that we have more than one red mech. Damn, all these scenes look awesome. Oh, jeez. Gotcha. Boom, 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 boom. It was his order. Sounds familiar. A rivalry begins. Fuck you, Iceman. He might, dude. Oh, you're just trying to blast off. Sweet. That did something. Shoved. Wow. What a crazy scene. Guys, break it up. God. Stop fighting. Stop it. He just killed your mom. It's fine. Yeah, this has got so complicated. Sword? Sword. Uh-oh. Beam. Saber. Wait, isn't she driving the same mech? Like, wouldn't it be the same? The previous attack? That's reasonable. Yeah, well, he just watched his mom die, so there's a solid reason for it. Hmm. Lieutenant Quattro Bagina is willing to trust. How very interesting. What does he see in Emma? Signal flares? Hello. Back it up. Wow, you and your family? That's how that works? That's fucked. Hey, buddy. My mom. He's getting away. He's getting away. Oh, he is gonna be a longer term villain. What? Okay, it's both. Wow. Yeah, I have a reason to be fucking hysterical right now. Hmm. Wow, this is such a standoff. We're handing over the Gundams? That's definitely my name. Hmm. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm getting warm. It's because the computer's running. Oh, gosh. Let me stay in my room. Acha. Acha. Nice. Did it. Whew. Oh, buddy. Aww. Hi, Emma. Well negotiated, everybody. Oh, that might not be my plan, but if that works for you, that's fine. She isn't with the Titans, but I mean, she is, but she might not be anymore. We might get to see that. Huh? How have your military forces doubled? Oh, okay, so Camus has been brought back to the Titans. Whoa. Hi. Fuck you and everybody you work with. Oh, he's just... Fucking hell. Not even my... Fingers? Did he grab a piece of her, like, fabric or some blood? Oh, shit. Yeah, straight up blood. Mmm, yummy. Wow, he comes back. And he's here. What will you do, Tosan? Punch him. Punch him in the face, Camus. Just walk straight past him. He's gonna not believe him. Oh, he hesitates to put a hand on him. And he doesn't. Whoa, he's broken. Oh. Yeah, no fucks given. That's a great question, buddy. I saw you. I saw you. Shit, you gave them ammo. Dude, you just blackmailed your own dad. He deserves it, but you just gave them oh no. Shit. He didn't. He thought it was a bomb. You said Mara Opai? Was that like phrased as like must be hard to get away from your mother's breast or something like that? true, but... What? No, you fucking don't. No, you fucking don't. Okay, hate the organization, not the individual. I do like that. Yeah, it doesn't give him the fucking catharsis that he wants. That's actually baller. That's so dank. Holy shit, Camus absolutely did the one thing that would destroy this guy's entire worldview. No, I don't blame you. I blame the organization you're a part of, and I'm gonna destroy it. Wow! Uh-oh. Double agent? No, I don't know. Whoa. I don't know who that is. But it leaves all of the liability with you. You succeeded. Okay. No, don't bring him along. Holy shit. Me too, buddy. Maybe for different reasons, though. Otto! Who's in the thing? Is it Emma, though? I don't think it's Camille. Oh! Well. I'll fucking kill you. Yeah. Alright, let's go. Vamonos. Oh, hey, it's me, your dad, and your new love interest. Come with me. God damn it, but this is all a ploy. But will it be? Is she actually doing this? Is the question. Oh man, it's complicated. Huh, you don't have to lead me by the hand. All right. How dare you? I don't like him very much. And what are you up to, Emma? Sure it is. Boom! Motherfucker! Gazelle punch! Oh, right, butt to the face. Wow. Whoa. Whoa. My son's a badass. Fuck yeah, I did. Gotta wear a different one. You'll have to wear a Titans version. Shut the fuck up. we got an escape to do, my guy. Uh-huh. Why then? Bye. Wait, who are they? Fuck off, dude. They got in the wrong mechs. Fuck. As soon as they got in, I thought it was weird. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Bye. Fuck off, man. Nobody likes you anymore. You... This is weird. It's like they're not following protocols. Weird. You're giving the game up. But that's okay. Get the fuck out of there. Yeah. Sweet. Let's bust it. Fuck all y'all. Fuck all y'all. Nani? Let's blast it open. All right. Thank you very much. They're knocked out in the fucking changing room, dude. Let's bounce. Let's bounce. Steal your mechs. Steal your techs. Alright, something's gonna go wrong. Yeah, he's piloting it. I don't think Camus knows that he invented them or created them. Oh, one of the engines is wrong. Oh, no, it's fine. Okay. I thought, wow, that was a weird trip. Why? This is your plan, isn't it, Bast? Fucker. Right? I don't think that's is that Bast? I've actually forgotten. Wow. Whew. Gotta watch out. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Out of range. Is that Char? It's gotta be. No, that's them taking off. It's the Galbaldis. Okay. I'm still so confused by the fact that there are multiple red mechs. How do you know that? There they are. Looks like we're in for a space battle. It is beautiful, isn't it? Another line like that. Always, always sort of thing. Gotta use your powers, dude. The ones that you don't know that you have. Zing, 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 zing. Vibe, 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 vibe. What? Take your shots carefully. They're coming back. Yep. Hontoni. Hontoni. Oh, he's taking off. He's getting in it. No time to waste. No time to waste at all. Let's go. Quattro. Hi. We got a chance now. Okay, so he does know. Yeah, use one of them. Either of them. Use something. Music is so groovy. Hi. Ooh, that was cool. He's a beast, dude. Because you shot a bunch. That's how that goes. Clickety clack, refill. Hello. Oh, we're just in now. That was a weird skip. We did it. I thought we were in the middle of combat. Hell yeah. Okay, but Emma wants to steal, or has been ordered to steal, the new mobile suit. But she broke out. Yeah, that's the problem. Nice doesn't mean shit, dude. Don't fall for nice. See if she's trustworthy. Hello, I'm a mecha developer. Oh, he's looking at the new mech. That's interesting. Very cool. We can make a better one now by fusing it. Oh. It's the same day that your wife died, my guy. But he's excited about the suit. Damn. Is that moving toward end? Yeah, okay. That episode flew by. Lots of flying in the episode. Ending? We can listen to it. Why not? Does not fit. Does not fit. The number of times that we're going to have really fucking crazy sad things happen, and then we're going to get this ED, and it's going to be like, crazy. What? Bad choice, I think. Funny, but jeez. Sweet. Okay. Nope. Nope. Well, some kind of meeting. That doesn't spoil much. Cool. Well, I see why people said that maybe watching 4 and 5 together would be a good idea, because a lot happens in this episode, but I don't think there's a ton to talk about necessarily about what happens. A lot of it is just sort of up in the air or ambiguous still, and that's totally fine. I still think the episode looks great. I still think that the space battle portions are really cool, and again, like, continuing with the idea that being able to see past the people in the suits is really useful. That happens a bunch of times. The whole Mexican standoff that we get as they connect with each other and are able to directly communicate. And we've got, like, Quattro telling Emma what to do and what not to do, and then they're both talking to Camus at the same time. And it's just like this weird conversation that's confusing and complicated and difficult. Really tracks for me. It really works. All of the space battle stuff looks very cool. There are a bunch of really neat scenes, like, yeah, that one. This one. Where the lights flare. Poof, poof, poof. And then it comes up and there's this bigger flash as it comes close to us and zooms past us. It's just really sweet, and that transitions us into the battle that's taking place. All this stuff just looks really good. The flashback is really well done. As characters realize things about other characters, we show exactly what we need to get that to click into our head. Then there are the things that kind of still confuse me, which is like, there are too many red suits and I don't know which one's which. It's just hard for me and I'm dumb. I figured out later that, like, oh, that's Garibaldi's and that's not Shard. That kind of makes sense. Great. We can do it. Same thing with the 3 dark black mobile suits. Makes things hard, too. It's just tough. But they all fight. They all grapple with each other for a little while. And eventually they make a decision and they come together. And Camus is brought back to the big ship, the Titan's home base ship, along with Emma and everybody else. So, smickety smack, he's non-responsive, give him a slap. That's how it goes. Fucking great. Everybody just wants to hurt each other. And she finds out the proof for herself. There is blood on the fingertips as he reached out for his mother. And he sees his father. This is a tense interaction and a powerful one and a difficult one. These characters do not get along. The moment that I like the most about this, absolutely the most about this, well, there are 2 things. One, the father reaching out and stopping himself and restraining some emotion behind his eyes, but unable to do it. And then this, where he snaps a little bit, where the absurdity of the situation, the insanity of what has just occurred, Camus can't do anything but laugh. Like everything has fallen apart for him, and all he can do is and then throw out barbs. Harsh barbs. Well, I guess this is good news for you and your mistress, huh? Rough. Powerful. Well written. Well expressed, well voice acted. Very good lines. And but he doesn't. Not right now. Not yet. And so he takes off. And the absentee father continues to be pretty much an absentee. This fucking guy pops up and is like, I didn't even know about it. And he's not lying. But he is a smug fuckboy, and he should be murdered. I do want to hear this line again. I think it is. It's translated as "you're still a baby," but I think it's like you're still like clinging onto your mother's breast, or something that implies something similar. Just getting under his skin and trying to intentionally. But Camille's response is wonderfully mature. I get it. You're a serviceman. You're just following orders. All you can do is follow the orders of the person above you, without even considering the circumstances. That's fine. I forgive you, with a little smile on his face. And then he says, I'm good enough to beat you in your hijack. The next time you and me are in the same space together, I'm killing your ass. But I'm not doing it because I hold a grudge against you. The organization that you're a part of is flawed and fucked, and it killed my mom. That's where my hatred is. You are an ant. You're nothing to me. So sick. So sick, Camille. I mean, it's some edgelord shit for sure. This is edgy shit. This is like, you don't want to get in a fight with me. I've got the powers of God and anime on my side. But he does. He's a fucking new type main character of the show, and so it's dope. We believe it. I believe it. And that's badass. This is a shred of the Camille that will be, right? That I think will be. Somebody calm, confident, collected to some extent, but still hyper-violent when he needs to be. And that's a pretty badass anime protagonist. And he goes after him. This pisses him off so much. He does not like hearing this shit, but Emma stops him and puts it all together. All right, so here's the question. This guy talks about coming up with a way to get Emma Sheen to go and get the new mech from the Aug. The question on my mind is everything that happens after this that? Or is Emma actually breaking out on her own? And it's actually, I think at this point, impossible to say. We don't get a response. Like, it would be really easy if we showed the commander guy and he just like smiled when he saw Emma flying away. We'd be like, oh shit, this is all a ploy. But he holds himself together, and so we don't get anything to infer off of. We don't get any implication. That really sucks, because I'm really curious. But she goes and she gets Camille, and she goes and she gets the dad. And I don't think she would do that if she was following orders. I think she makes the actual decision, and I think that I trust her. The problem is that I like her, and so I want to trust her. And so my trust isn't entirely rational. There's still a distinct possibility that she's going to fuck us over. And that's very scary. We'll see. In any case, these scenes are great. The like corpse floating in, or knocked out person, not a corpse, floating in is great. Discovering that he actually really knows what he's doing with a Mark III, Mark II is really cool. The whole situation where Camille is like dealing with the presence of his father in order to do this thing is great. This fight is super dope. He just sort of falls thrust into the room. This is the play. Drop. Boom! So cool bringing the speed lines in like that and then switching to another set of speed lines. It really does remind me of like an Ippo Gazelle punch, getting way down low and doing a Shoryuken. But he Shoryukens the fuck out of this dude's nose. This guy, I actually really like this cut as well. It's just got a lot of nice impact and face warpediness in it, which is great. And the father sees his son come in and be violent, which is a very good thing for him to see because, well, all the violence has been directed toward Camille that Franklin has seen, as far as I know. So it's interesting to see that come around, maybe. And off we go, and only this guy is left to figure it out. Wait a second, they're getting in the wrong mechs. Hey, everybody, what are you doing? And he uselessly flails around yelling a bit before they start threatening to blow a hole in this ship if you don't open the fucking hatch. And so They open the hatch, and away we go. There is this moment where Camus takes off, and his mech, like, sort of spirals out for a second. I don't understand what's up with that. Yoop. I guess maybe just that his father has more control over the suit than he does, or something like that. I'm just not sure. In any case, we dodge the cannons, get almost winged by them. The Galbaldis come after us and start firing as well. We get ourselves into battle, and the battle begins, and Char joins us. And then we just sort of skip to being on the ship, which is cool. I mean, we had to do it, so we skip there, and we're just there, and we're safe, and we're here. And we wonder if Emma is trustworthy, and we talk about it, and she says that she wants to follow her own path and her own beliefs. A perfect thing to tie into our initial discussion of one of the comments today, where we talked about conservatism versus the following of freedom. The freedom to choose and the more liberal or open-minded mindset that's present in the Space Noids. And Emma has made her choice, it seems. Whether it's a true choice or not remains to be seen. But that's the episode. I don't think I've missed anything crucially, terribly huge in this one. If I have, you can throw it in the comments, and that's totally great. But I do think this was a cool episode. I think that the production quality has maintained itself. I'm still deeply intrigued by a bunch of the story elements that I just weren't present in Gundam 1. And it feels, again, much broader and more interesting. I like this section of the show quite a bit. If it gets more complicated, that might be a problem, but I like it so far. Okay, so we're going to wrap there for episode 4, and I think we are going to move on and watch episode 5 today. So let me take a breaky thingy, do a sinky thingy, and we will be back in just a second to give it a watch. Hopefully it'll continue the interesting stuff that we've been watching so far. See ya in a minute. Peace. All right, welcome back. We're good to go for episode 5 of Zeta Gundam, and ooh, is that a title? Father and Son. Very interesting. All we can do is watch it, and so that's what we're going to do. I don't have anything to spiel about. We already talked about what happened in the last episode. No need for a recap. It's the same damn video. Versions, beep beep timer. Let's go. All right, fine. This OP is better. Fine. You'll fucking win. It's better. All I have to do is close my eyes, and it still looks good, but, like, it's so good. I want to have a pure time, and I believe in a sign of Zeta. Whoa, what? Is this a dream? Oh, it's the shattering of the thing. Or is this the ring? Yeah, okay, it's just the ice crystals in the ring. That's cool. That was very cool. I like that intro. Or opening. Oh. What? Hmm. Oh, there's the hole. Are those butterflies? What? Never mind, that intro didn't make any fucking sense. That was crazy. Oh, blippity blip 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 blip. Ah. It what? Compromise your principles and policies. What does that mean? Yeah, they just stole 3 of them. Spicy. No, okay, you're just going home? Hunting down their base. We're gonna purge the Earth Federation forces and make it significantly more fascist, huh? Very interesting. Loyalty and nationalism. Very interesting. Cool scene still. She reminds me of a character from Scooby-Doo, just because of the hair and the green. Velma? I think. Right. Right, which is why they're pursuing, we know that. Quattro Bagina. Whoa. Quattro, you been working out? Looks like you got a baseball injected into your arm. What the fuck? Oh, we're gonna color them? Yes, good. I will be able to determine the differences. Oh, is this Franklin? Gah. Huh? I have to do it myself. Lieutenant? Fucking idiot. Okay, so it's the Rick Diaz. He just wants info. Yeah, directly into your belly. Oh. Oh. Oh, we're painting it white. Of course he is. Fucking hell. And he killed your wife. What? You fucking ass. You absolute piece of shit, Franklin. I thought you were alright for a second there. I thought we were gonna grow to like you. Just shove him into space? Absolutely fuck you, dude. It is. It's really great. Ooh, 0 to 60 real quick. You gotta get biometric security, guys, so that people can't just hop in a mech and steal it. It's not the way. Go, Quattro. He's been working out. Looking like a JoJo's character over here. Okay. Okay. You and what mech? Dude, they're gonna steal the Rick Diaz, so we stole all their Gundams. And he's stealing the Rick. Are we gonna have Camus go after him? That would be nuts. Whoa. Whoa. He's getting in. No, my God, that's so sick. He's got you, dude. He's got you. Fuck yeah, Shard. That was so cool. Dude, he's in the OG colored Gundam. He's in the OG colored Gundam. Oh, that makes my fan senses explode. Ah! 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 Camille! Shaw! Fuck! That's so sick. We gotta mix them. The Rick Gundam. Why? Yeah, he's smart and fucked up and brutal and an asshole. An idiot. God, I hate him. I have. You were on Salamis. Or did you sense the power of Amuro? Yes, he is. Oh. Because he was working on. Okay. Those hallway shots continue to be really good. Whoa, that bass. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty cool. Instant elevator. Uh-oh. Oh. All right. Uh-huh. What are they transferring, though? He actually didn't, I don't think. I think he told you that you had to prove yourself first. Old school hijack. Oh, that looks great. I mean, it's weird, but... Sure, you're gonna die. I hope. Hello! Oh, man. He's gonna fight us. Can you fight the red comet? Below me? You cannot fight the red comet. Give up, dum-dum. Shit, incoming. Oh, no. Fucker. God damn it, every time, man. Wow, that was sick. Groovy. Oh, you'll test them using the Rick Diaz. That's sick. Whoa, thinking of Margarita. Honestly, I would be too, but that's fucked up. Your wife died today or yesterday or whatever. So he's gonna die now, right? Oh. Okay. Off you go. Cool. Cool, let's do it. Hmm. Oh, that's the mid-roll. Okay, so that is Basque, and he's going from one ship to another because he's going back to Grips. Cool. Going armless, let's go. Don't need a shield. Don't need a shield. Too late. He's in the suit. He's out. Later. Yeah, Bask is in there. All right, you've revealed your position now. Wow, missiles. Oh, jeez. All right, what's the plan, Kyu? Hell yeah. Yeah, let's fucking go. Damn right. I'm going. Sure it is. Let's go. This is his first, like, hard launch, right? Let him do it. I'm so hype. This is so hype. Oh, I wanted to see that whole sequence. I guess it wouldn't be repeatable if the arm is off. Yeah, don't think about that. Think about the battle. Rage is a powerful motivator, but it's also distracting. Ooh. Thanks. Yeah. You started it. Yes, it's war. Joji Ito? Ooh. Hi, Dad. Fuck you, Dad. I hate you. Father and son indeed. Hwah! Yes, father, you are pathetic. I hate you and I will kill you. Gonna orphan himself today? Oh, can you fire upon your own father? Anatawa? He's gone, man. Whoa. Oh, you didn't have to do it. Who did? Quattro? Oh, his voice comm circuit is actually busted. It's Quattro. Oh, and he's out. No. Don't you dare try to steal my fucking mech, boy. The Rictias is gone. And he is sent off, hurtling into space by the explosion. Good! What? You gonna save him? You're the only one who could. If you don't, they're gonna pick him back up, and he will be an enemy forever. Oh, he's seen so much of the Rick Diaz. He's gonna be saved by this. Sure, dude, whatever. Okay. Are they gonna find him, though? Or is he just gone? Just gone and dead? More reasons to hate the Titans. Whoa. Cease. Dude, Contra Vegeta in the White Gundam still is the best thing. That's the best thing. Okay. Okay. Might be a trap. Assume that they're all Aug. Purge them now. Very scary. No, it's your father's fault. You should have. That's a sharp perspective right there. Hello, Emma. Oh, no. Hi. Never mind. Oh, no, it is Emma. Hi. Mm-hmm. 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 Poof. Hard to say. Yeah. Oh. That's fair. It is. So, we'll use you while we can, though. Yep, they'll go to any lengths. What are you thinking? Hmm. Yeah. How nice for you. Oh. Or vice versa, parents who act like real adults. You don't know nothing about my parents. You don't have the perspective. Like, you straight up don't. Gotcha. It is not. It is not. Hmm. Hmm. Another reason I hate the military. It's about war. Ooh, that too. Look to the future, stop thinking about the past. Yes, you do. I'm the red comet, bitch. I'm the red fucking comet, bitch. Oh, do you now? Do you? He took his own. Oh, and he challenged the zombie family and made a better world. Oh, it's like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Retaliated all on his own. No. He's not actually going to explicitly reveal it, is he? Bruh. Bruh. Yeah, but what about new types in the world, in the universe? Bruh. Yep, hard. It's hard. Ugh. Great little piece of animation there. Character acting has been on point. It was, though. Does she know? Uh-huh. Yeah. She's not secretly Sayla or anything, right? Like that, right? Like that would freak me the fuck out. I don't think she is, so. Oh, buddy. Another episode ending with Camille crying. Aw, buddy. Rough stuff, man. Cool episode. Is that Fiend Fiend? That's Fiend Fiend. I'm gonna skip the ED. Sorry. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna let it play. Bada bing, a bada bang, a bada boom. Wow, a lot happens in this episode. I need to run and use the bathroom, so I'm gonna do that, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, much better. Well, first off, when I saw the episode title "Father and Son," I really thought maybe we'd have some, like a moment to talk, a moment of reconciliation, maybe starting to see each other from each other's perspectives. Maybe Camille will see his father working hard on the machines and he'll sort of come to understand that that's his father's real passion, and that would make sense, right? And you know, I maybe learn to at least understand him a little bit and vice versa. um Instead, Franklin Bidon decides that he's going to betray everybody because he wants a better mech, and so he captures and hostage a random technician and threatens to murder him if he doesn't get to steal the mech. So he steals the mech. Fucking asshole, my guy. On the political landscape, Basque gives some orders to start looking for AUG sympathizers in their own ranks, in the ranks of the Federation forces. This is a huge fucking red flag to me for a hard takeover of the overall Earth Federation government and a move toward a more space fascist, dictatorial authoritarian government under the Titans. Essentially, purge anyone who is a sympathizer essentially means whoever we want, anybody who disagrees with us. And that's very, very, very scary. The idea of sympathizer in particular is a very scary one. It's been used by political entities for specific gain and the destruction of specific other parties, and for pretty much blank check ability to kill, eliminate, concentration campify, whatever people who disagree with the current policies of the leading government officials. It's very scary to hear that. Yeah. Because you don't have to be the thing that is hated. All you have to be is not quite loyal enough, and you are considered a sympathizer. You are against the flow of progress, right? The flow of fascist progress. That's fucking bad news, bears. And it gets worse. As we go on a little bit later, we might miss it, so I'll just say it here so it's all in one place. He says, up to 50%, up to half of the Earth Federation forces should be viewed as sympathizers to the AUG. That's crazy. He doesn't know that. He doesn't know how many people are actually sympathetic to the AUG. That's not the goal, right? That's the stated goal, but it's not the goal. The goal is to eliminate anyone who will disagree with a change in power and a change in direction. And that's terrifying because it's a stage, it's a step in the development of a truly solidified, entrenched fascist military dictatorship. Like, that's what it leads to. Or other fascist military structure. It doesn't necessarily have to be a single dictatorship. It can be an oligarchy. It can be a democratic fascist nation. All of these things are fully possible. It's true. Unfortunately, like, we think of them as opposites, but not necessarily. It has to do with how things are actually enacted, and who actually holds power. And you can easily do that in a democracy. It's no sweat. Okay, so we move along. We do get to quick check out, definitely not Char's baseball arms. Let's fucking go, dude. Hit the gym. What's up? Gymspo. Actually, hold on. I need a fucking screenshot of this. This is going on the Instagrams for sure. And we're good. So, hey, whoa, don't use that torch that way. Let me see it. Hey, whoa, you shouldn't be taking a direct... Oh, spaghetti-o. And it's almost like, is this a joke? Is this fucking... Are you joking with us right now? Not even a little bit. I just want to see the Rick Diaz. Ah, wonderful. And at this moment, we're like, well, maybe he just wants to check it. Voom. Oh, he's murdering people. I guess our initial impression of him as an incorrigible asshole is correct. Shit. And he is so fucking smug about the whole thing. What an absolute douche canoe. An absolute douche canoe. Now, here's an absolute legend right here. Boom, 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 boom. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. Also, there's a scene later where he jumps in the mech, and it's so cool. I love the reflections on the face mask thing. It's super cool. Struggle, and Char gets in himself. Can you fire at your own father? And he's got him. This moment right here. I love it. Whoop. It's reminiscent of a lot of the other Season 1 Gundam, like, jumping into the thing and whatever, but it's just really cool watching Char do it. And my favorite fan servicey thing that we've done as an element so far. They painted up one of the mobile suits to look like the OG Gundam, and it does. And that's the one that Char gets in. Fuck you, dude. Absolutely fuck you. That's so sick. That's so cool. I don't know why. I don't know why I love this as much as I do, but the idea of this character jumping into what looks like Amuro's Gundam and fighting is like... It's like Hibiki taking on the other Gungnir, or and like taking on Black Gungnir, or somebody wearing somebody else's super suit or something, or like somebody else getting inside Iron Man's suit. It's so sick. It's so cool. Like just the switcheroo is amazing, and I really like it as an element. I know it's just a silly dumb thing, but it pleases me so deeply in the deepest parts of my soul, and I have to share that with you because it's really cool. I like it, and if they can keep doing stuff like that, it's gonna make me so happy. People have mentioned in comments like the way that the past characters that we will recognize are incorporated is going to be one of their favorite things about about Zeta, and already with Quattro being around, that's a thing, right? I really thought he was going to hard reveal it in this episode, but then, of course, Kamiyu gets up and is like, fuck you, you don't know shit about Char. Amazing. Oh god, it's so great, it's so great. I like the way that we're integrating them so far. I want to see more Bright, I want to see more other things, it's wonderful. Alright, so everybody takes off, and Char is on the hunt. We keep jumping back between these battle spaces, and we're talking about the Red Comet, right? Have you heard about the Red Comet, blah, blah, blah? Very good. Yes, he is trying to convey Zeon Daikun's dying wishes to a space noise. From that conversation, I get the impression that some of them are a little suspicious of Quattro. Like, not suspicious, but they think he might be this legendary figure from Legend. But they not consciously necessarily, and certainly not out loud or explicitly. And that's very interesting. Why is Char in hiding is a good question, too. It's a curious one. There are a bunch of really good hallway shots all the way through. Characters just moving through space, this way toward camera is always really interesting to me because I think it's usually harder to animate in some senses, and doing it effectively throughout in these hallway scenes has been really cool. Okay, so we set up this transfer of goods, which never really pays off in any way. I guess it's interesting. This guy, I don't think was supposed to be on this battle mission, but he jumps in anyway, and we'll see if he gets chewed out for it later. But regardless, away he goes. A zoom. And away we go into battle. The mobile suits catch up and begin attacking and grabbing and stuff. He gets hit by some of the artillery, and so Franklin is able to escape. And he's fucking crazy. How fortunate that I can test a mobile suit that I built using an enemy's suit. I really like this scene because it shows us what's going on in his head and what he's actually thinking about, right? He's thinking about testing the tech that he's built, himself, and sex. He's a simple man and an asshole. No engineer can be luckier, and he's grinning throughout. Again, to be clear, this is the day of or the day after his wife's death. Yeah, fuck this guy. Fuck this guy. Absolutely fuck you, dude. I feel really bad for the dude who's on the outside of this thing. That is terrifying. I would not do that for a million bajillion V-Bucks. I just wouldn't. Actually, I wouldn't do anything for V-Bucks because fuck that. I just wanted to make a joke. But yeah, anyway, would not. So, Camus hops on into a mech against everybody's orders, and regardless of it not having an arm, he still feels like he can use the beam rifle, and away he goes. And into space battle we go. As a whole, all of the ships are in it. Boom, boom. We get this first launch sequence, and it's so badass, and the music is so great, and it's so amped. And then we skip it. Zoom? Skip. Why? I have a theory. It's a weird one, but I do have a theory why that launch sequence is skipped. Here it is. When Camus has a mech that is his mech, it will have both of its arms. And when we get a sequence of it going in and launching from the ship, we're going to reuse that sequence because it's going to happen almost every episode. So, we don't have the sequence animated of a mech without an arm going and launching, and we probably shouldn't do it because it's just going to happen the once. So let's skip over it, and we'll animate the rest of this fight scene, and in the future, we'll have a repeatable, reusable that we can use for that sequence that's also going to be badass. That's my thought. I don't know if it's true. We'll see in the future if we start having a launch sequence, and especially if parts of that launch sequence look like they do here, and then change as, like, and then we see more stuff. But I don't know. It's still badass, and it's still great. All right. Gets whomped a little bit. He's being transferred in the middle of combat and makes it across, which is great. Well, we are transferring to the second bridge. One issue that I have, this is a side note, and it's not important, but a lot of the stuff that characters are talking about in combat isn't relevant. Like, there's no reason that we need to know that their forces are transferring from one bridge to another. It straight up doesn't matter to us. It just doesn't. Like, that there was damage and stuff matters, but it doesn't really matter. And that seems to happen a lot. Like, a lot of the conversations in combat are almost fillery. I don't know. Some things are really important, like the conversation we had about the Red Comet and Quattro and all that stuff, and some are not. I don't know. All right, so he hunts him down, potentially using new type powers. I again love the 360 screen. It's super dope. And father and son, mech and mech, face off. And he grabs him, and they are able to talk. You are pathetic. Camus, it's you. And this does not dissuade him from fighting or firing. Throughout this, Camus raises his gun at him, and the father is like, "Why? You do that to me?" And locks on his own weapon and starts firing as well. He has nothing going for him. I've been fulfilling my obligation as a parent. Blam, blam, blam. Yet this is how you thank me for all I've done for you? This isn't how I raised you. Oh, I love that. I love that shit. Parents always do that shit, and it's so stupid. It's so fucking stupid. This isn't how I raised you. One, you're wrong. Yes, it is. 100%. You are responsible for the actions and the beliefs and behaviors of your child. 100%. Two, you don't have that much control over the child. So you have to balance those two aspects because they seem contradictory, but they're not. Your child will learn from everything that you do and that other people do, and they will not necessarily learn to mimic it, but to some extent they will. And the attitude that Camus has, again, going back to our initial discussion of the comments and stuff, is 100% the result of a fucked up relationship between his parents and absenteeism from his father, and just a lack of an actual, like, fatherly caregiver completely. Obviously, there's also Camus' potential predisposition toward anger and inability to control it, but the inability to control it comes from everybody around him not being able to control theirs and fucking hitting him instead of telling him why he should do the things they want him to do. Anyway, clearly there's been bad parenting here, and usually that's the funniest part about this line. That's also the saddest and darkest part. When parents say, "I never taught you like this," usually the parent never taught the child much of anything. They just expect of them. That hits close to home for me, to be honest. But anyway, we continue, and the fight continues. And his father does not hold back one fucking bit. Blam, 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 blam. Blam, 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 blam. Stop it. And they are in the middle of crossfire. Beams and blasts through everywhere. Camus notices those beams incoming, but his father does not. And he gets hit. And we see that he is still alive, still conscious inside that normal suit. And he climbs out and begins floating toward the Gundam, as if wanting to be saved by his son, more likely wanting to steal it from him. If he didn't get exploded away right now, what do you think he would do? Because I think he would go over, use some kind of command to open the hatch, grab Camus, and throw him into space without a second thought, then fly back home to his fucking mistress and give no shits ever again. So, instead, an explosion. He is blasted off into the far yonder. And this is very curious because it's ambiguous. It's like an anime character falling off a cliff. You gotta give it a little right? Especially because this character is an engineer and a technician, and he just saw the Rick Dias and flew it around for a while. Makes me think that he is going to be picked up, and he's going to use that stuff to create a better, scarier Gundam, while we do something similar on the other side. And that's going to lead into further arms race and conflict in the future. At least that's kind of... I would love if this guy never showed up again, because I don't like him. But I kind of hope that he does, because narratively it would be really interesting and satisfying for Camus to be surprised by that and to have, like, reconciled his father's death, and now for his father to reappear as a pure enemy to him, or to reappear in a changed sense, in a changed manner. Either would be interesting. Any direction that goes would be really interesting. The least interesting thing would be if his father is just straight dead, but that's also the most Tomino thing to do, so I don't know. All right, and some explosions. This guy sucks. I hate him. Because you do stupid stuff like this, everyone ends up dead, and Camus rages against the machine. If you guys stayed away, none of this would have happened. And he's right. He's right. Okay, so some more stuff. Consider half of their forces evil. It's nobody's fault, and everybody tries to talk Camus down in different ways. And it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Emma's here, got a new uniform, looks baller. Reminds me of Frau Bo, but she's way cuter. Sorry, Frau, I love you. I love you, Frau. I mean it. Emma Sheen be fucking hot. Woo! We talk about the trust thing, and I love Quattro. He's so fucking brutally calm. He's so brutally calm. It's like, do you think I'm still a spy? Yeah, of course. Of course I do. First off, your parents are still on Earth, so they can be taken as hostages. We've seen it done. And we are with the boy who has been fighting against the enemy. So she has a seat next to him. We talk it through. And I love this. You're fortunate to have adults who act like real parents, Lieutenant Emma. Or, reversed, you're fortunate to have parents who act like real adults. Both are accurate for Camus' life. Both suck. And she tries to assuage him. Well, your parents were this and that. No, they sucked. I just wish that they were normal parents. Is it wrong for a child to say that? And the issue here is one that's very important, and very important to understand. If you don't have context on someone else's relationships or familial dynamics, you probably shouldn't chime in. Sorry, but this is the case. I get this frequently enough. I have a really rough relationship with both of my parents, and have for a while. There are ways that I'm working on mending some of it, and some of it can't be mended. But people will tell me their opinions on that. And it's usually pretty fucked, because there is no context, there is no perspective, and there's no way to explain more than a decade of consciously. I think conscious comes around at like between 8 and 12 in terms of age, but spending a decade or more conscious with those people, there's no way that I can describe to you the emotional fraughtness, the difficulties that are present there, the difficulties that are in those relationships. Doing so would require explaining each of my parents as personalities and people, which is impossible given that they're hyper complicated humans, and more impossible because I don't fully understand them. So it's hyper ultra complicated. And I think at a certain point, when it comes to dynamics like this, you just have to respect somebody's viewpoint at a certain point. Is it a childish viewpoint that Camus expresses here? Yes. And will he and can he move past that? I hope so. I hope so. I think for myself, I'm in a much more mature place in terms of how I relate to my relationship with my parents, if that makes sense, than I was when things went down and got bad, as things did. But I hope that Camus will reach a more mature place, because I think I have, and I think it's possible to do so. How that will happen and in what direction, I don't know for him. I just don't know, because I'm not in his situation, but I can relate to it to some degree, and I can relate to the feeling of having a bunch of people who should know, or who think they know better than you, telling you what you should have done in some circumstance. And it's not fun, and it's not useful, and it's not helpful. I think generally the best thing to do when you don't understand someone's circumstances or situation or the reasons that they've made the decisions that they have is to just respect that you don't understand it and that you can't see where they're coming from, and leave that be. And open, if you want to, you can open the floor if they want to vent or talk about it or try to explain it to you. You can open that door, but recognize that you're probably never going to understand it because you don't know the people involved. And you never will know the people involved the way that a parent and child do. It was brutal for me through high school having friends or girlfriends meet my parents, because my parents would seem utterly lovely to them. Individually, they're separated, would seem utterly lovely to them, and they would tell me like, oh, why do you have trouble with your mom? Like, I don't get it, she's so nice. And it's impossible to explain what living with a person with borderline personality disorder is like, because they are not that person most of the time. They are different people, and those different people hurt you in different ways, and then they pretend to be someone else, and then they actually are that someone else who isn't hurting you, and you just get confused and fucked up. Or on the other side, a hyper-authoritarian control freak with his own set of problems. People would meet them and think, wow, your parents are so great, and they are, and they were, but they also aren't, and they weren't. So I understand this situation of lack of perspective from an outside force trying to convince you or talk to you about it. It's tough. It's fucking tough, man. But there are ways to get through it. If any of you resonate with what I'm talking about, I will recommend therapy. I will just say that it's a good thing to do. I won't push it too hard, but it is useful. Talking to a professional who's just willing to talk to you about it and can weasel out some of the underlying thought processes that are still existing inside your brain can be really helpful, especially if you're not capable of doing that to yourself. If you are capable of doing that to yourself, you can pretty effectively do self-therapy through journaling and through delving into and trying to understand your own self and your relationships with the other people, as well as conscious and careful empathy, looking at the actions of the people who you've had conflicts with and trying to understand where they're coming from, not necessarily in order to forgive them, but in order to understand the bigger picture and make some of the things where you look at a situation or a circumstance or an interaction, you're like, why did that happen that way? It doesn't make any sense to me. At least you can put some of those things to rest if you come to understand those characters or those people in your lives, those people in your lives a little bit more fully. Anyway, that is, I think, all I will say on the topic, because it is a sensitive one. I don't have problems with broaching sensitive topics, but I also don't want to vent to you about my shit or try to necessarily relate Camille's issues to mine, but I do resonate with them to some degree, and so I feel like bringing it up is important. Okay, this isn't about the Aeug or the Titans. I just can't stand to be always ignored just because I'm a kid. Well, it's both. And so he brings up Char, and I take no such responsibility. He gives him... Okay, what I will say is this. Quattro Bagina gives Camille, in words, the antidote for his suffering. Camille is suffering brutally. He's suffering from the relationships and the sudden cutoff from his parents. He's suffering from feeling like everybody's treating him like a kid. He's suffering from not being adult enough. He's suffering from not feeling like an adult. It actually reminds me in some ways, we're watching Non Biyori right now, of Komari. Komari is a character who is short for her age, shorter than her little sister, who is bigger than she is. And is desperate to be seen as more adult than all of her friends, but actually isn't more adult than all of her friends. She's kind of immature and small and feels bad about those things. And that's sort of the feeling that Camus has too. Quattro gives him the antidote, straight up. I understand what you're saying, but are you telling me not to talk about my dead parents? Yes, that's right. It's done. And he tags onto that. Seems non sequitur. It seems separated. And you must create a better world for the next generation of children. Why does Quattro Bajeena say this? Because it's the antidote. This is the antidote. Camus' life has been poisoned, and Quattro Bajeena hands him a potion bottle with the antidote in it. Stop talking about what happened. Think about it only if you have to. And focus on creating something better for the future. Focus on ensuring a world where what has happened to you happens to less people. It's an impossible goal to say will never happen to anybody else. That's silly. But that it can happen to less people, that you could save one person from going through what you've gone through, that's how you become an adult. That's how you gain respect. That's how you stop worrying about the past. That's how you move forward into the future. Find something worth fighting for and fight for it. That's the antidote. Listen to him, because he's fucking right. And whoever wrote this line knows what they're talking about, because they are doing it. I don't know if it was Tomino. I assume it was. But this is what he's doing. This is what he's trying to accomplish, at least. And to some extent, he's succeeding. But listen to this line from Quattro Bajeena / Char Aznable. Stop thinking about the things that hurt you. It doesn't help. Start thinking about helping yourself and everyone else. Stabilize your life, remove the distractions, and move toward a goal that is worthwhile, that you decide is worthwhile, and set the bar high and aim for it and move forward. And don't do it just for yourself. Do it for everybody else, because everybody matters. Fuck yes. Absolutely my favorite line in all of Gundam so far. Easily. Easily. And Camus' response is beautiful. It's beautifully put. I take no such responsibility. Just let me wallow. And this is exactly the response that every single one of us makes when we are forced into a situation where we must choose between the hard work of progress and slipping back into yourself, withdrawing. I take no such responsibility. Again, he is refusing the antidote, because responsibility is that antidote. It is the way that you gain power. It is the meaning of being an adult. It is the meaning of being a parent. It is the meaning of being a good person, is taking responsibility for yourself and for your actions. And once you can do that, you can expand your circle of responsibility out to include the people around you, and their lives change for the better. And it reflects back to you, and your life changes for the better. And then you become more stable and more responsible, and you can reflect that out to the people that are around you. And then their lives get better, and that reflects back on you, and your life gets better. And then you can reflect it back out to more people around you. Do you see what happens there? It's like a bullseye. It's an expanding shockwave, a ripple effect that you can have on the world, but it starts with taking responsibility for yourself. It's not your dad's fault. It's not your mom's fault. It's not even the Titan's fault or the AUG's fault or the government's fault or Putin's fault or Biden's fault or Trump's fault or anyone else's fault. It's your fault. Figure out what you can control, take responsibility for it, control it, move it so that it pushes you forward, and then move. Get going. Don't wallow in it. Beautiful scene. Beautiful scene. But he's not ready to hear it. So Char almost tells him the truth. That man took the tragedy of his parents all on his own. And blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he fucking did. You should probably live up to him. He felt that expressing his own individual emotions was the most important thing to overcome in the situation. I think she knows. I don't want to hear this. None of this means anything to me. But they were still my parents. And he's in a confused, fucked up state. He can't hear it. He can't reach out and take the antidote. But it's there sitting on the table waiting for him when he's ready. And I can't wait to see what happens when Camille takes charge of himself. Because he's going to change the world. And that's a very exciting place for our hero at the beginning of this story to really be. Fuck yeah, everybody. 2 episodes of Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam. I think that was a cool discussion right there at the end. Hopefully useful to you, hopefully valuable, hopefully important. I don't know. If you enjoyed this content, please consider supporting me on the Patreon. It's down linked in the description. Otherwise, likes, comments, subscribes are always a good way to go. If you want next week's episode or episodes of Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam a little bit early, they will be up on the Patreon a week early for my $5 early access patrons. Come check it out, as well as the Discord access where you can chat about Gundam and all sorts of other things. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been a powerful pair of episodes with a bunch of little interesting things to talk about. I've enjoyed them highly. I continue to enjoy Zeta Gundam above and beyond what I felt for Gundam, and that's really good. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for spending this time with me on Thursday, if it is Thursday for you. I know that there are time zone people who are in different times and different days at the moment, but thank you for spending the time with me, and I hope to see you next week for more Mobile Suit Zeta Gundam and to see what exactly happens next. Thanks for watching. Peace.